Hi, I'm Kelly at Book and Paper Arts, and today I have a roundup of some video links. I started this channel on YouTube over 6 years and 275 videos ago. Since then, the channel has evolved and it has grown, and it's continuing to grow. A lot of new viewers, new eyeballs, and that means I'm getting also a lot more comments and questions about creating content here on the channel, which I love. Please keep them coming. The thing is, recently I've started to get requests. Would you consider demonstrating something or other? Or could you possibly in the future talk about how to do what's it? And it turns out I already have. But how could you know that? Because unless you're Indiana Jones, there's no way you're going to be able to excavate all those videos in the library. So I did. I went and looked at everything, and I pulled some of those out that I think have good information and ideas about working in journals and other mixed media projects. It's not a top 10 video. These are just things that got made 2, 3, 4, or more years ago. And they're buried in the virtual stacks. I just pulled them out. If you check the text box below the video, you're going to find links to all of them. And then you can just check the video to watch later, and they'll be there as and when you want them. If you like journal arts, and if you like book and paper arts, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and be sure and turn on the notifications with the little bell. That way, you will continue to help this channel to grow, and you'll have more of them in your life. Let's go round up some videos. I know it's not a top 10 list, but I still feel like I should have a drum roll here. Fussy cutting. I have a video. It's very straightforward. It's just techniques, hints, and hacks about cutting out your images. Sticker cutting, fussy cutting. What are my favorite scissors? Using scalpels of different kinds. And rough tearing and tearing with straight edges and whatnot. The comments in this video, I commend them to you because they're also very good, because so many of you wrote in with your own ideas and cutting tips and hacks. So check that out. Where to find and source old paper and paper ephemera. I am so lucky that I live in an old country, the UK, and I have access to finding old papers and stuff. But a lot of you live in the States or Australia or countries that aren't so old. And I hear it all the time in feedback, well, I just don't have that sort of stuff. If you live in a new country, it's going to be more of a challenge to find, but you can get started. I know because I've done it when I lived in Mississippi and Tennessee. So in the video, how to find and source old paper, even if you don't live in an old country, I talk about ways that I've used to hedge your bets to make it more likely that you will run into old pieces and be able to put them in your own collection. So check that out. How to get past the fear of the blank page in your journal work. I do this for a living, and I'm intimidated by a new book. And I know from emails and stuff that a lot of you feel the same way. So I have a video that just talks about ways to get your book messy and to trick yourself, if you have to, into getting in there and working, even if it's brand new and pristine and perfect. Don't let that stop you. There's a link to a video that's going to get you up and running and it's in the text box. Altered Book Basics. It is a video about pretty much a primer, almost to get you started with choosing a book, preparing your book, and then working in your book. I actually have an altered book playlist, and I will link to that because it has a lot more detail as well. But I'm going to also just particularly link to Altered Book Basics. Kind of adjacent to that is a video that I did not expect to be as popular as it was. When I started making these videos about creating, I thought I was going to get questions about vision and manifesting our vision and expressing our deep... No. Well, sometimes, but way more often I get the question, hey, how do you get your pages so flat? So I actually have a whole video about how to make your pages really flat and crisp most of the time. And if you want to check that out, there's a link to that. How to glue and make perfect flat pages. What is in my travel art kit? I take mine with me almost everywhere. And I have a couple of videos talking about what the essentials are that I always take with me so that I can work in my sketchbook, in my illustrated journal, whatever it is you're working on when you're on the road. I have a video on how to make and use paste paper. Paste paper is one of my favorite techniques in mixed media work. It's not hard, it's easy. It is super fun and flexible and versatile, and you can use it for decorating your papers, your book covers, and lots of good stuff. So if you'd like to find out how to make paste paper and how to use it in your work, go check that out. I have a whole playlist on how to use tea bags as an art supply. I think there's 5 or 6 videos there. How to make them into these freeform bowls, how to paint on tea bags, how to turn them into a tea bag journal. This is a different kind of a journal that I made using cloth and tea bag, making tea bag cloth. So if you want to find ideas for working with tea bags, super budget friendly and very fun and very versatile, you can check out that playlist that I've linked to. I've also linked to a playlist about using soft chalk pastels as an art, not just as an art supply. These are not videos about how to paint portraits with pastels. Sorry to say, I'm not very good at that. These are videos about how to use pastels as a mixed media art supply, with stencils, with stamps, as a water-soluble, and a ton of other ideas. So you can check out that playlist to the soft chalk pastel stuff. I don't have a visual for it, but I do have a pep talk here on YouTube from back in the day about giving ourselves permission to create. And the subtitle is Why I Say Get Up and Go Make Something. I deeply believe that we have the right to create and make and that in fact we have a duty to do that. So if you would like to hear more about getting on with it and getting past your internal critic, there's a video on giving ourselves permission to create. You know where the link is. On a less lofty note, there's a video about making a, let's go up, no, the other up, there we go, making a journal, no sewing, just using 3 pieces of paper. It's called a slit journal, because you're just going to cut a slit or tear a slit and then fold the things in there. It is crazy easy. I did this one with brown packing paper and started to use it as an art journal. This is also terrific to do with kids. It's fun, it's budget friendly, and it means that you are going to have a blank book anytime you need one. Here's another one I made out of watercolor paper. See, that's where the slit is, where the papers have been folded and fed into that. And I just painted these with acrylics. So check that out, how to make a slit book from 3 pieces of paper. In the same idea is a video from last year about how to make an easy way to make a blank sketchbook. A blank book out of whatever kind of paper that you have, using a 3-hole stitch. It is easy, easy. And once you've seen this, you will never be without a sketchbook, a blank book, or a visual book, visual diary again. You'll always be able to whip one up. So if you'd like to see how to make a simple blank book, check out the link. If you would like to see a view of my studio tour, I have made one with the help of my husband Gabriel, and it's just a walkabout of my the space where I work and keep my stuff and make my stuff. So you can check out that studio tour in the links. Finally, 2 videos that are possibly not particularly edifying, but that I really, really want to give a shout out to, because they're so meaningful to me, and they're so far back in the archive that they didn't get the traction I wish they had. One is where I go paper shopping in Paris, in the Marais. I am so blessed and so fortunate that I got to wander around these paper boutiques and partake. So you can look at that. Bloop. And if you ever need some flea market eye candy, I have a video where I visit a few French flea markets on a beautiful summer Sunday. It even includes a drum circle, but it's a French drum circle. So, like I said, if you'd like to see just for fun, you can check out a visit to a few French flea markets. Basta! That's it. If you would like and are able to help support videos like these and other content tutorials on this channel, you can do that by following the link in the text box and going over to Ko-fi. You can make a one-off donation, or you can contribute by becoming a monthly member. If you have any feedback or questions, please let me know in the comments below. I love to compare notes. Join me in a few days because we're going to do some sewing, for better or for worse. Until then, get up, and go make something.